Welcome back once again to episode 1 of BudgetCraft. That first one was playing catch up, so I decided to label it episode 0, and today we're going to be working on a project from the Wall of All. Now, for some reason, I have locked in on wanting to make a Sculk Farm. I don't think I've ever made a proper Sculk Farm on a server before, so that could be a very interesting experience. The only trouble is, I've got none of the bits to do it with, so we're going to have to do a few things to get started on this episode. We're going to have to go over to the mountain biomes, which are to the north. We're going to have to find ourselves a deep dark, grab some bits with our silky hoe here, and then we'll make our way back to the island and try and find a spawner in order to use our skulky bits. I've just done a little bit of sailing to the north, and I have encountered this lovely snowy mountain biome here. And I reckon this is going to be one of our best chances of finding some deep dark. So I haven't come very well prepared, but we're going to start the process of getting ourselves into the underground, and we're going to see exactly what we can find. Of course, random diamonds. It's not what I'm after. Bloody hell, that's a lot of diamonds. Did we just get a double vein? I think we might just have got a double vein of diamonds while we're just trying to find some wibbly goodness in our lives. I'm going to take this as a sign that we're on the right track though, and we'll keep on going down. I can hear water now. That could be a good sign for a cave. Oh! Right, okay. Oh dear. We are in the deep dark. That was a little bit sooner than I was expecting. Yet there's more of the Sculk here. All we need is a single catalyst, and then we can get out of here. The terror levels are raising a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But we will make the best of it. I want to try and find the edge of this deep dark. I think that's going to provide the safest way in. Oh no. I mean, this is cool in a way, but we are not anywhere near prepared to explore an ancient city, but this is what we have found ourselves in. Right, let's have a little quick look around. That is the block we need. That over there is a Sculk Catalyst. We need that as a matter of priority. Now the question is, are there any screamy bits nearby? If there aren't, we could try and do a quick stealth mission, grab that, leg it out and pretend we never saw here. I think that could be the play. So far, so good. I am very, very terrified at the moment. I don't want a warden chasing me. We are only on episode 1. We have nothing for a warden. I'm going to pick up some of this Sculk in the meantime, as we keep getting closer and closer. The Sculk Catalyst is the block we are after. It is just there. Can we get it? That is the question. I really hope we can. Let's keep getting further and further towards it. We've got a Shrieker there. We've got another Catalyst. This is going to be very, very dangerous. Got to play it very, very safe. Now, we don't have the mod on, which means my voice will activate those, thank goodness. I don't think I'd be able to take that at the moment. But we are just going to sneak on by. We've overshot it. This is the block we need. We have mined it. That's not screamed bloody murder. So we're going to get out of here. We'll come back to this later. We'll make a note of the coordinates. But this is all we came for. We're just going to run now. Where's the exit? Oh, sweet relief. We have ourselves a Sculk Catalyst. That will mean we can produce all of this delicious wibbly goodness ourselves without ever having to think about this ancient city once again. So now that we have the Sculk Catalyst in hand, I'm going to start making my way back to the main island, to the safety of our home, and then we'll start looking for a spawner to try and make our Sculk Farm. With the assistance of the chunk-based seed map, I think we might have a spawner very, very close by. According to this, it should be just in front of us here. There we go, there is the Cobbly. So we do have a zombie spawner. The first thing we're going to want to do is light this up so that nothing else can spawn. Was it just the one? And this is a very weird spawner. It's completely enclosed. It must have been in a very tiny cave. We'll get some of the spoils. We've got another saddle. We've got some iron. I think the most important thing here, though, is the golden apple. We'll be needing a lot of those later on. We'll take the gunpowder from that one. What about in here? We've got a couple of cat music discs and nothing else really too special. So now that we've got our spawner, we can start planning our Sculk Farm. So what I'll do is I'll get myself organised and I'll meet you back here when it's time to do the building. I've got a nice and clear inventory now so we can get to work on digging this entire room out. And just like that, we have a nice big room dug out. I've gone to the effort of making all the walls plain stone, so it looks very, very clean in there. We've got the water streams in, all the zombies are going to be funneled into that one little spot there, and that is where we can use to then get our zombies into the Sculk chamber. And now a little bit more time has passed. I've added in the water stream. We're using a very, very simple soul sand elevator here. So I've got a little bit of ice to try and coax the zombies up onto this spot. They get lifted up all the way here. And then it's just a little path down to the drop chute. They land here, and at the moment, I've just got it as a regular killing chamber. But this is where we're going to be generating our Sculk. So I've now got the job of digging out a big old room for the Sculk. So I'll meet you back when that is done. And this is, at its most basic and perfunctory, the room all dug out. We've got a 9x9 area to work with here, including this centre block, but we're not done yet. The next step is to make a big border full of non-natural blocks, so we can't have any granite, dirt, stone, andesite, anything like that. It's got to be a non-natural block that doesn't convert into Sculk, and then we'll look at making the floor a little bit smarter as well. So I'll come up with a design and I will let you know what it looks like. And now with a little bit of video editing, we have a very nice, even if I do say so myself, room. I wanted to try and make it slightly spooky without being too over the top, and I've made use of the new pale oak stripped logs there. I think they work very, very well, especially with the deep slate, and then we've got some shroom lights in here just to make sure that nothing nasty spawns. So now we have the foundations in place for our Sculk Farm. The only thing to do is to get this floor regenerating, get the Sculk Catalyst in, and then we'll be good to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go behind here, I'm going to dig out a little bit of an area, and we're going to make a stone generator together. So we'll need a little bit of space for this, and then I'll show you how the magic will work. So the first thing we're going to want to do is have some pistons down on the floor here. We're going to plonk them all in a line here. There are going to be 9 in total. And that is going to be the first part of our regenerating floor. So this is going to be pushing stone that's going to be generated over onto this bit of floor here. So it will constantly replenish itself when we're picking up our Sculk. Now for this next part, we're going to be making ourselves a stone generator. We've seen plenty of stone generators over the years in Minecraft, but I'm going to go for the most basic and simple of the lot. We've got a water source here, we've got a water source there, and then in the middle we're going to have a lava source. So if we plonk a couple of blocks, it doesn't really matter what we do there, and then we change this to lava, we should then see, if we take a little peek, we have some stone. We mine it away, and it gets changed back to stone instantly, and that is exactly what we need. Now at the back of this we do have a piston, and from this we can connect it up to a redstone clock. We'll connect that same clock to these pistons here, and that should in theory mean that the floor will constantly replenish. With that, we have our redstone clock in place. We're doing a very, very simple clock here. It's just 4 repeaters all set to 4 ticks of delay. We've got a redstone torch here to make the loop happen with a couple of bits of redstone dust. We've got a lever to switch it off and on, and then we're also taking this output and we're pulling it to these side pistons. And that means when we get into the floor here, if we mine a block out, it instantly gets replenished. Same here, it isn't the quickest clock in the world. I'm sure we can make a quicker one much later down the line, but for now it works. And that means there's only one last thing to do. We need to get our spawner spawning, and then we can get the Sculk in place and see if this farm works. It's the moment of truth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these torches on the spawner here. We're going to fill up this wall again so that all the mobs spawn. We'll go into Cheesy Free Cam, make sure there's no superfluous light sources anywhere. There is still a torch on the wall there that we're going to want to get rid of actually. Let's do that now. So that is a perfectly dark room. We have our zombies coming in here. So we'll get rid of these torches. We don't need them anymore. We'll put our Sculk Catalyst down there. And now we've got to wait for the zombies to get into the chamber. So this is going to be the slowest part of it all as I get lost in Cheaty Free Cam there. We are going to improve this soul sand elevator at some point to make sure that zombies get through a little bit quicker. But for now, this is just proof of concept. So our first zombie is making its way down through the chute. We'll get out of free cam now that it's fallen down. We'll give it a little whack on its legs and it spreads. We have Sculk. So we can improve this ever so slightly further. Let's see, did I bring my dripstone with me? No, I didn't. For now, this is a manual farm, and if we grab ourselves our Silk Touch hoe, we can then start mining away at all of these bits of floor, and you can see it's going to replenish itself automatically. I am very happy with how this has gone so far for a very quick and dirty Sculk project, but now we have a renewable way to get all of our Sculky bits. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a go for a few minutes. I might add a dripstone as well, and I'll let you know what the results were. So I have now been testing it for a little bit. It's working absolutely fantastically. Unfortunately, the zombies don't come anywhere near as quickly as I'd like at the moment. But as you might have spotted in the replay when we were doing the time lapse, there is another spawner just over yonder. I don't think it's going to be in range, but we could look at maybe doing something with this double spawner for Sculk. That's something we can do in another episode. For now though, I am very happy with the Sculk farm, and I'm going to call this another project done. And now that we are back at home, there's just one more thing we need to do this episode. We need to get our blue dye, we need to mark the Sculk farm as complete. And you know what, we'll put the date on it as well. It is the 4th of December, 2024 when that was done. So we'll mark it complete, and for now I will say thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure skulking around with you for the last little while. If you have enjoyed this video, please do make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. But for now, I'll say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon.